Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Linda Richardson. I am the president of LVHA, and to my right we have Mr. Art Green, our president-elect and official interviewer for our program today. We're doing something different. This month we're going to have some fun and at the same time build confidence and earn the trust of our Las Vegas visitors and to let them know that our city is resilient. And today we're going to demonstrate that, how Vegas attractions are reinventing themselves. Today we have Mr. Brian Croton, Vice President of Marketing for the Maverick Aviation Group. Brian currently serves as Vice President of Marketing. He oversees marketing and branding strategies for Maverick Helicopters and Maverick Airlines in Nevada. One interesting note about the three of our guests today, I will point out that they all started their careers or worked together, crossed paths at the Richard Petty driving experience many years ago. So we're going to get some inside scoop and some secrets on each one of them throughout the afternoon. Also joining us today, Mr. Carl Fusco, Director of Sales, 01 Desert Adventure. Carl is the Director of Sales for 01 Desert Adventure, privately owned, and is the top-rated off-road tour provider in Southern Nevada and certified outfitter with the Polaris Adventure National Network. Welcome, Carl. We're glad to have you with us. We also have Brad Mark, Chief Operating Officer for Pole Position Raceway. Brad is co-founder and managing partner for Pole Position Raceway Las Vegas, which opened its doors in 2007. Along with his partners, Pole Position Raceway grew to 18 locations nationwide through investment and franchising. Thank you so much, everybody, today for joining us. So, Art, how was your experience filming, doing the site inspections, I guess I'll say, for our Vegas attractions?
Well, two things really come to mind. The first one is that Las Vegas and the attractions world is doing all the important things that they have to do, just like we've seen in the sales and the catering world. The second thing I've learned is that these three people work together at the really informative times of their professional careers, and they're a little bit colorful. But, you know, let's see how this goes.
All right, good job. Thank you, Art. Have fun.
Hey, you might think I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, but I'm really only about 20 minutes south of town. I'm at 01 Off-Road here with my new friend Carl Fusco. He's our Director of Sales here at 01 Off-Road. Carl, how are you doing today?
Doing really well. Thanks for coming out, Art.
You bet. Hey, tell me in a little soundbite, what is 01 Off-Road?
01 Off-Road has been around about 7 or 8 years down here in South Las Vegas. And we are fortunate to be named the top-rated off-road tour experience for the past several years. So we're also an exclusive partner of Polaris Adventures for Southern Nevada, and we are a premier outfitter for them as well.
So you do off-road tours, but there's a lot of people that think that this is just, you know, bland desert. What is there to see out there?
Man, the Mojave Desert, just on the other side of I-15 here on the west side, is beautiful scenery. Rugged trails where you slow down, do a rock crawl. There's also long, flat straightaways where you're going to get up to some good speed out there. You may see some wild horses, wild mustangs, the desert tortoise, and other kind of wildlife. Colored rocks. There's so much to see out there. Very smooth trails. You don't need any experience to do this. Just a driver's license and a quest to be outdoors.
Right on. So tell me, what is the initial guest experience like when they come rolling out here? What has changed from this time last year?
Well, obviously in the post-COVID world here, let's start with the razors. Everything is sanitized, disinfected, all the touch points. Helmets as well, head socks, throwaway head socks for everyone. We used to do our instruction inside. That's now done outside by our vehicles. So this is a complete outdoor experience from arrival to departure.
So hey, now I'm here with my new friend Kelly and her husband Kelly. I don't understand it, but it's true. But anyway, Kelly, tell me why you're out here. Do you come to Las Vegas a bit?
This is our first time here, and we're here to celebrate our 2-year anniversary earlier.
Oh, right on, right on. So why did you choose something like this?
We're not typically the party people, so we want to do something a little bit more fun and adventurous, and this seemed like a perfect option.
So here I have Malaria and Jesus. They're also getting ready to go out here. Malaria, tell me, what do you think? Is this, what Do you feel safe out here?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
I feel safe.
Cool. So you're probably not worried about the equipment because that's all new. But you know, what about in terms of germs and stuff? How do you feel about that out here?
I feel fine. It's very beautiful here.
Right on. And you know, I don't know if you know this, but you know, they cleaned all your helmets. You know, they got sanitized it all. Your head sock, the balaclava, is only going to be used once. So really, Las Vegas is doing everything they can to make you feel safe and for you to go home safe.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can notice.
Right on. So let's see them go out and have a good time. All right, so Carl, tell me about the guest safety experience. When does all this begin?
It actually begins on the Las Vegas Strip once we pick them up in our shuttle van, socially distanced in the van. So if our van seats 15, the most we'll put in there is 8 people, seat apart. The vans are power washed, disinfected, and cleaned every night before they're picked up in the morning. Once they get here, the first thing we do is size them for a helmet. And these helmets, head sock, throwaway head socks for everybody. Goes on your head first.
And that covers your mouth too, right? So you don't need a mask when you're out here.
You do not need a mask when you're out here. Full face helmets, sanitized, disinfected every night and every morning. Additional safety matter, these helmets are radio equipped for hands-free communication once you're in the Razor. This plugs into the radio in the vehicle itself. So hands-free talking to your passenger or our guide. So
It also probably adds a lot of fun to it since you get to talk to everybody.
there's a lot of trash talk going on out there on the trail. So we hear a few things out there that it's funny because especially if you push the button and talk to the guide, then every Razor can hear, every vehicle can hear you. So sometimes we've heard some funny things. Let's put it that way.
Cool. So I know you used to work with Brian and Brad. So give me a Brian story.
Brian.
Yeah.
A Brian story. I can think of golf offhand. You know.
Does he cheat?
No, he's just terrible. But
all right.
in his defense, I am as well. So we used to compete to see who had the worst shots out on the golf course.
Okay.
But no, he doesn't cheat.
And what about Brad? I know you got dirt on Brad.
Brad. Yeah. Well, Brad and I go back about 30 years in the hotel business at the Flamingo, and we used to trade war stories over there about who had the most. Fun or awesome or not so awesome day with customer experiences. And so there were some crazy stories there. And then actually my first day with Richard Petty driving experience way back in 1997, my very first day, I flew to ITME with Brad in Chicago. And Brad had a rental car, and didn't we get lost in, let's just say it wasn't downtown. It was, so there's some crazy stories there as well. Yeah. But in all honesty, Brad and Brian, great guys. I have tremendous respect for them, and we've known each other for many years, and it's truly an honor to be a part of this presentation with Pole Position and Maverick.
Right on. So I'm here today with Brad Moss. He's the Chief Operating Officer from Pole Position Raceway. How you doing, Brad?
Great, Art. Glad to have you out and looking forward to showing you around.
Right on. So tell me a little bit, what is Pole Position Raceway?
Well, quite simply, it's the fastest indoor karting in America. We opened in 2007 and 12 and a half years now, still going strong.
Cool. So I imagine you had to do some different things now that we're in the time of coronavirus.
Yeah, it's not as simple as it used to be, that's for sure.
So you're going to show me some of the things that are helping your guests and your employees be safe. I imagine before you only had one real expectations that you had to give for your guests, but what's it like now?
Yeah, this is a very good question because you used to have one expectation, right? Fun, safety is now a second concern. So you have to fulfill their expectations of the hospitality industry as always. But secondly, now we have to keep everybody safe and healthy.
Cool, so let's go see what you're doing.
Come on in, let me show you around.
Wow, you can see something right when you walk in the door.
Absolutely, Art. From the moment you walk into Pole Position Raceway, there's things to help keep you safe and comfortable and healthy. Our hand sanitizing station, and we have our temperature scanner. All of our employees scan in daily, and we ask our guests to do the same thing.
Oh yeah, the hand sanitizer is just part of the world we live in now, but that thing is pretty cool. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's state-of-the-art technology so that you can do a touchless temperature scanning and just make sure that everybody stays safe. But you know, it goes way beyond just hand sanitizer. We have it everywhere. In fact, you can't walk more than a few feet in any direction without stumbling upon it. But we want to take it to the next level.
Right on. This looks like a video game, so I'm going to scan in.
Yes, sir.
.7, no COVID here.
There you go. I'm going to do the same. Good to go. We're ready to rock and roll. We're off to the races.
So you've got the obvious, take the temperature and hand sanitizer everywhere, but now it's about your equipment, right? You have some other things you have to do here.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't stop at the front doors only, right? We have to make sure the entire operation is safe and clean and healthy for our guests and customers and our employees. As you get ready to race, I'm going to give you this. This is a balaclava. It is a...
Wait, I love Greek pastries, but that's not something I can eat.
Correct, it's a balaclava. A balaclava is a head sock. We use this in racing. I'll trade you and you slip that on. We've used this in racing since the beginning of racing, right? It's a head sock or a face covering for your head. And so you'll put that on when you get ready to go race. We've always done this in racing, but now it's a single-use item, so we don't ask our guests to turn it back in. And you can use that to put your helmet on. We're going to show you that helmet process in just a minute.
Cool, so now everyone's gonna leave here with a bad hair day, but they were gonna do that before, weren't they?
Yeah, they absolutely, it's what we call helmet head. But in addition to having all these sanitary things, we also invested in hundreds of gallons of hospital-grade sanitizer. So every cart is getting sprayed down after every single use. Every cart's getting sanitized throughout the day and after every use.
That's pretty cool.
And then I'll take you over and we'll show you the helmets. So after every single use, we are sanitizing our helmets. When our guests are done with them, they come over here and we put them in this Sani box. It's a UVGI sanitization chamber using the ultraviolet light. It's the same technology that's used in hospitals to sanitize large equipment.
How long does it take to sanitize?
So about 8 minutes, these helmets will be perfectly sanitized and then go back over there ready for our guests' use.
All right, Brad, so you showed me what you've done for now to make things better compared to what it was, but do you have any surprises here?
Actually, Art, we do, and it's something I've been wanting to talk about and show you. I think there's a Vegas mentality we have to have right now to come back stronger and better and not just survive, but thrive. You know, I remember back to 9/11, how devastated it was. I remember it vividly. But not just those attacks, but I remember how our economy was reeling. And I can tell you firsthand, many of you here today can remember how quickly and how strongly Vegas responded to those attacks. And we're in a similar situation today. We're under an attack from an enemy that none of us saw coming. Our economy is reeling, our people are reeling from it. And we have to not just survive it, well, we have to make Vegas stronger and a reason for people to come back to Vegas, that they can't stay away. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. We have opened a brand new attraction inside of Pole Position Raceway, and I want to show you our brand new Omni Arena.
Very cool, let's get into it.
All right, so I talked about not only surviving during this time, but thriving. So this is what we've done at Pole Position Raceway. We put our money where our mouth is, and I want to invite you and welcome you to the brand new Omni Arena at Pole Position Raceway.
So it looks cool, but I don't know what an Omni Arena is. What are you about to make me do?
So you are in for it. This is a full motion, 360-degree, literally running while you're playing virtual reality. It's unlike anything you've ever seen, unlike anything Vegas has ever seen before. We have several games you can play. There's a commando kind of soldier Call of Duty type game called Elite Force where you shoot each other. There's a zombie game where you're running from hordes of zombies working with your other players. We have some younger games like a Blackbeard where you're chasing pirates and skeletons and collecting treasures. We're going to play what's called Core Defense. It's us working together against attacking robots and aliens. So there's a lot of different games to play. I promise you, you're going to be sweating when we're done.
So this could be a potential team building thing too, since we're working together.
Absolutely. And for me, I think there's no better team building than shooting each other. That's just me. All right, Art, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Are you excited?
And a little nervous. I'm a little nervous here, but I'm excited.
Now, we have some social distancing in here, so if you want to pull that mask off, you may do so at this time.
Right on.
We'll get you ready to play.
Let's go.
Put that on your eyes where it's comfortable.
Wow, it's already cool.
Let's go. Oh, Mark. Come on. You definitely get us on the leaderboard. Let's go.
One big step for mankind. Well, Brad, I worked up a little bit of a sweat while I didn't even move a square yard. I had a wonderful time in there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, reality you were running, and virtual you were going everywhere. So it was a ton of fun. It was a pleasure to have you out, Art. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad you got to see the all new and expanded pole position raceway today. I want to invite everybody out. Come check it out, our brand new Omni Arena. You know, in addition to the games, now you're qualified for up to $100,000 in money. We give out $100,000 a year in annual prizes in esports competitions. So I want everybody to come out, check it out. But much more than that, you know, I want everybody, and I want to challenge all my friends out there and all my colleagues, during this time, we got to show off that Vegas attitude, to not only use this time to change, which we've had to do, but to grow. And I want to show that no matter what, no matter this attack on our globe and our country and our people, we will always be Vegas strong.
Vegas strong, baby. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Art. Thanks for coming out today.
So hey, now I'm here at Maverick Aviation with my good friend Brian Croyton here.
Hello.
Who's the Vice President of Marketing for Maverick. It also happens he's an OG. He's been in Las Vegas a little while. He's a past president of Las Vegas Hospitality Association. And like our other two interviews, he used to work at Richard Petty Driving Experience.
I did. Brad, Carl, and I worked together quite a few years ago, and we've had some good experiences together.
So back in the day, you had to preach safety at Richard Petty, but nothing like today.
I've been very fortunate to be around some really cool products, race cars, helicopters. Safety has been paramount of both of them, and it's just an amazing experience to be with.
So what's safety like now at Maverick Aviation?
Safety's always been our number one priority, so nothing's changed for us, it's just changed. We've had to worry about additional sanitization of the helicopters, masks, everything needed with this crisis we're in. So safety has always been number one, will always be number one, but we've just had to change it a little bit.
Cool, so why don't you show me a little bit of what's going on that's changed since we've started going through this COVID?
Instead of me doing it, how about I have one of our pilots do it? Matt, take it away.
Welcome to Maverick Helicopters. My name is Matt. I'm an instructor pilot here. I want to take you through our terminal and show you all these significant changes we have been making over the last few months. But first, I'm going to put on my mask because it's required here. For our guests and passengers staying on the Strip, we do provide transportation. We require temperature checks as well as face masks while on board our vehicles. Now that we're here, let's go check out our terminal. Upon entering our terminal, all guests will be required to wear a mask as well as receive a temperature check. In our terminal, we have reduced our seating capacity as well as socially distanced all of our seating areas. We have protective barriers for our staff as well as our guests, as well as hand sanitizer throughout the facility. We have increased the frequency of cleaning throughout our terminal. We were very fortunate to open our business in late May. However, during the closure, we were in contact with our guests about our updated safety procedures. We have increased our flexibility on our cancellation policies for our guests that are possibly not feeling well. We have made alterations to our safety protocols and our operations based on the changing environment. We have asked our pilots to greet our guests with a contactless introduction, and we have asked our pilots to limit their physical interaction with guests. One of our unique reopening strategies was to give away 500 helicopter flights over the Las Vegas Strip. With the elimination of international travel, demand to the Grand Canyon has reduced. On a positive, demand for flights over the Las Vegas Strip have increased. We are now here on our ramp. I'm going to be talking about some of the safety features we have implemented over the last few months. All of our headsets are disinfected. We have restricted the use of microphones, however, you may still use the headsets to listen to the tour because the pilot is still going to be talking and making the experience just as good as it was prior. And everybody in the helicopter will have masks, including the pilot. We have upgraded all of our helicopters with the highest level cabin filters available. As far as our cleaning regimen is concerned, we disinfect the helicopters after each flight. If you are flying to the Grand Canyon, you will have a clean helicopter. When you go to the canyon, you will also have a clean helicopter, a disinfected helicopter at the bottom of the Grand Canyon for your ride back. Due to the changing business climate, we have added private flight options for those looking for a more intimate flight experience. Thank you for following along with what Maverick Helicopters has been doing. We hope to see you on a flight soon.
So you really are doing a lot to make people feel and actually be safer in the time of quarantine.
We hope we are doing a good job. We've looked at and evaluated every piece of our business, from touch points to human interactions to helicopter interactions, and we've evaluated everything, and we've made some good decisions, and we're trying to be a pioneer of our industry in the aviation world to do what's right.
Cool. So in terms of being pioneers and being a leader, do you have anything you want to say as a former president of our organization to all of our members out there?
That was a long time ago, but Vegas really needs to stick together. We're all in this battle together. We need to get through it together. We will survive. We will be the Vegas we used to be, and it's just going to take us all pivoting a little bit, working together, and really treating our destination as the best destination in the world.
I know you worked with Carl and Brad.
Yes.
Kind of good old boys type thing. Give me some dirt on one of those guys.
Long time. They both have really bad taste in football teams, between the Chiefs and the Steelers. Somebody said that I was a bad golfer, but of the three of us, I'm definitely not the worst golfer of the three of us. So that's one thing. One of us has a lot more time to play golf, so that's another thing. And now Brett and Carl, again, we've known each other for years. It's been a great partnership with all of us, and to see where we've all gone in the last 15, 20 years has been pretty cool, along with the rest of the industry. This industry is really tight-knit, has been awesome, and is one of my favorite things about being in the hospitality industry.
Right on. I agree. How's everybody doing today? I want to welcome all of the Las Vegas Hospitality Association members and guests to our panel discussion now. You've all seen a little bit of what's going on in the world of Las Vegas attractions through our friends Brian Croyton from Maverick Helicopters, Carl Fusco from 01 Off-Road, and of course, Brad Mark from Pole Position Raceway. So we have a lot of questions. Most of them, we had an idea what they were in advance, thanks to those people who asked questions when they registered. So Brian, I want to start with you. Question of my own. I heard your pilot talking about private flights. What are those and how well have they been accepted? Brian, I need to unmute your microphone, my friend. So while I work that out, I'm going to ask Carl, how is your business now compared to where it was a year ago? And have your demographics changed at all?
Well, our business compared to last summer, surprisingly, it's just as good, probably because we are a complete outdoor activity. The demographics, younger, and live much closer to Las Vegas, Southern California, Arizona. No international, no corporate, no group. But as far as the retail business this summer, we're pretty happy about it.
Right on. Hey, Brian, it's good to have you back with us now. Tell me about your private flights.
Yeah, so we've created some private flight options and made alterations to our existing flights for guests that do want to travel with their complete party. So we've seen good demand for that, and it's been a nice change to our business.
So this could potentially be something where, you rent out the entire helicopter anyway, once all this COVID quarantine stuff is over.
It'll definitely be something that will stick through the crisis, and once we're out of it, it will be something that will stick forever.
Right on, right on. Hey, Brad, when I was walking through your facility, you talked about your online reservation system. Can tell me about what that means and some unpredictable things that may have happened with in terms of walk-ups.
Yeah, thank you, Art. Thanks for having us out here today. It's an honor to be here with all of you guys, and especially Brian and Carl. We go way back, and it's truly a privilege. In terms of online and things, we added and enhanced our online capabilities during this crisis. And like Brian was saying, it's one of those things that will now be a part of our business forever. I think before March, not even 1% of our business was online bookings. Really, the only thing that booked online or in advance was group events. Our group events are now at 0, but our online reservations, since we reopened, are about 35% of our business now. So we created an opportunity where you can book online, pay online, register online, do your waiver online. So literally, if you choose, you can just walk in the door, show your identification at the front desk, and head off to get in your cart.
So you could potentially walk up on a nice Saturday evening and get sent away if you don't have a reservation. So people should be going online and booking now.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we've had to do with capacity restrictions that are in place. We've now, with the online option, we can say, okay, look, we're busy right now. I know you're walking in. It's a 2-hour wait. We don't want you waiting here for 2 hours. We can book you online, come back at the appropriate time, and jump right into your cart. We don't offer food and beverage service right now under the government guidelines for indoor entertainment. So a lot of those things have changed our business dramatically, and just adapting and rolling on.
So to Brian and Carl, what's the waiting experience like for you guys as well? Carl, you're out in the dirt with your clients, so I imagine there's not a lot of waiting going on.
There's no waiting, and just like pole position, we require advanced reservations. We're not taking walk-ups. Everything is done online as well, as far as prepayment, the waivers, and when you arrive, you just show your ID. So again, you must have a reservation with 01.
And Brian, you remove most of your seating in your lobby. You have to keep something so someone can sit around. But do you now have rules about how early you can get there, or what should a guest expect?
Yep, we require guests to be there about 30 minutes prior. We do minimize the amount of time they're in the lobby. We have guests that both arrive on own and come via our transportation. So we restrict it. Fortunately, we have a large building, so we are able to spread out quite a bit.
Right on. So want to ask all of you guys, I guess it's the same question in different ways. What's it like in other markets? Brian, I know that your crew flies in several different states. Brad, I know there's pole positions all over the place. And Carl, you're pretty plugged in with Polaris. So I don't know who wants to jump in. I know, Brian, you and I have talked about it a little bit. How safe is Las Vegas, and what are the things that we're doing to be leaders compared to your other locations?
I mean, Vegas, obviously, not to get political, but everyone has an opinion. And here, Vegas is open. We are ready for people to visit compared to our Hawaii operations, which is basically completely shut down. We've been closed since March and have no plans to reopen. Best case scenario is end of October. So Vegas is doing a great job. Vegas is being very proactive. I'm glad the community is sticking together, and Vegas, though we look at our backyard differently and maybe we look at ourselves very harshly, but we're doing a very good job compared to the others.
Beautiful. Brad, what about you?
Yeah, I think one thing that we have in our favor in Vegas, anybody that's been in this industry 10 minutes, and probably every person on this call knows that we have a community unlike any other. Our Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, organizations just like LVHA, is what has always separated Vegas from our competing cities and bureaus and travel destinations. We're the best at working together, and we all compete, and we all have to worry about, all right, I only have enough money, I'm going to do a helicopter or an off-road or maybe some go-karts, stay at this hotel or that hotel. But working together, Vegas is unlike any other city. All of our locations are open. We're all in the same boat in California, in the Midwest, group event businesses down to nothing. But individuals are looking for something to do. Families are hungry for entertainment. And, you know, we're essential businesses. I know that may not be the correct terminology, but I think we are essential businesses because these businesses feed our families. And these families that are coming to take a helicopter tour or go out on the desert, they are needing some break. I think it's very essential what we're doing.
All right, Carl, I know that you're a single location, but that you're, you know, pretty unique with your relationship with Polaris. Do you hear anything, and I'm throwing this at you without giving you time to prepare, what do you hear from other Polaris type attractions around the country?
Well, Zero One is the exclusive partner of Polaris for off-road in Southern Nevada. However, we're part of a national network. They have outfitters all over, really, North America. And people are getting outside, and the other outfitters that we get from Polaris, the information is they're doing well with people just like RVing or anything else being outside. So, and I did want to mention that Polaris has many products, and they have a slingshot, adrenaline slingshot rentals here in Las Vegas, and their business is trending positive as well. So it's just a combination of things with Las Vegas. People still want to come here, and I can only second what Brad and Brian have said, that people want to get out, not only out of their hometowns, but also outside. So it's been a positive.
So that brings up a good point. How much your business is local now compared to where it was? Brian?
I can honestly say we used to be about 0% local, and over the last, since we've been open since late May, we're probably 5 to 10% local now. So we've really had great support from the local community, and I would say for us, California, Florida, and Texas seem to be our 3 biggest markets right now.
Brad, what about you? I know you said that your corporate business has dried up. Are you all local now?
No, definitely not all local. In fact, we still have a similar mix of probably 70% tourist, 30% local. Maybe that's increased a little bit during this time, but it's all individuals. I mean, we used to have 4 segments. We had group events on corporate, and group events on individual, or, you know, what we call leisure group. We had individual travelers, local and individual travelers from, you know, coming into the destination. It's all changed right now. It's just individuals, but we are seeing a healthy mix of tourists. Larger cities than normal, you know, not coming from Tupelo, Mississippi, but coming from Atlanta, Georgia. It's a bigger city market, I think, coming to Vegas right now is what we see.
Very cool. Hey, Rachel has asked us, are there any with all the additional safety measures, has that impacted the pricing of your products at all?
For us, it has not. We are hopeful and appreciative of all the business we are having. Obviously, there's additional expenses, but I don't think we're in a market right now where prices go up.
Right on. And you gentlemen, the other 2 agree?
Yeah, I would second that. Our prices have not gone up. You know, just as Brian said with the market. In fact, we kind of changed the structure of our pricing where it's per vehicle now instead of per person. So you actually get a better break that way. But no, the pricing has not gone up with 01.
We have a, go ahead.
I'll jump in, Art. I think it's very interesting. As we reopened, I felt the need for some reopen specials. And so we did some nice discounts there and worked those prices back up. Candidly, we are back at exactly where we were pre March 17th. I had offered some great discounts and deals out there. And based on our capacity and volume, went back to regular retail pricing across the board.
So then are your business levels pretty close to where they were last year?
I'm actually ahead of last year, believe it or not.
Nice.
It's incredible. We've spread the business out over, we may have had a 3-hour wait on a Saturday afternoon before. Now there's no wait, but we're really busy from open to close. And so we've just had to really manipulate. The customers have been great about it, but we've just flipped the business on its ear. But I actually beat my July numbers, and I will beat my August numbers from last year.
Yeah, right on. A lot of people don't have weekends anymore. They just have what they call weeks. So,
Right.
Brian, I know your day parts are dramatically different with the lack of international travelers, but is there a big swing between, say, Thursday and Friday?
We see big swings. For us, Friday through Sunday is considered the weekend, and Monday through Thursday is the off-peak times. We've seen dramatic drops for the Grand Canyon demand just because of the lack of international travel, where our flights over the Strip have, we're trying to find more capacity and more supply because
Wow.
the demand for those are just off the charts. And unfortunately, it has a lot to do with the lack of activities at night, lack of shows, lack of other opportunities. For us, it's been a good opportunity.
Carl, what about you?
We've
You
this
look like you were
summer,
pretty busy on the day I was with you.
this summer we've had strong midweek business, and compared to last summer, it was more Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But this year it's been pretty much every day. We have offered a summer special as well, and we'll evaluate that in mid-September, and we'll see what happens in the fall. But we're pretty happy with our summer results.
It does seem like there's opportunities for attractions like what the three of you have, since everyone doesn't always have the same things that they're used to have every time they come to Las Vegas. Some shows are closed, some stores are closed, restaurant experiences aren't quite the same. And so people are really exploring everything that Las Vegas has to offer right now. We have a lot of marketing questions that have been asked. A lot of people like Marla and David and Courtney, they want to know how you are attracting new customers. Are you marketing to a particular type of customer over another? And what type of tactics are you using? Who wants to jump in there?
The easy thing is to say we've blown up our marketing plan and adjusted to 100% domestic. We look at every state that's coming here. We actually track clients of where they're coming from, and we geo-target. We are using a lot of social and digital marketing. There's not a lot of print marketing in town right now. There's not a lot of traditional marketing methods. So I think from our standpoint, digital and social has been a good key for us.
And I would agree with Ryan. Social and digital, going out to leisure retail, there's no international travel, really no groups of corporate to speak of at this time. And 01, we are partnered with some online travel companies as well, targeting domestic audiences. So we'll see what happens come the fall or the end of the year, but right now that's where we're at.
Great. Brad, someone's asked, what is it that you're doing differently that your business has ticked back up?
Yeah, kind of what these guys are saying. We have just pivoted completely, burned the old marketing plan, tore up that spreadsheet and said, all right, what do we got to do? Very heavily digital into the big markets. So we have pivoted our digital targets to the major cities. That's where our travel seems to be coming from. It's working for us. All individual based, where I think in the past we would focus a lot of our dollars on whether it be a Connect travel trade show, business trade shows things like that. I'm not doing any of those things right now, obviously. So we've reallocated that money, shifted it over to individuals. It's paying heavy dividends because we're staying busy. Jim had a question in there also, like with school starting back up. Traditionally, as school hits, we hit our slowest time of the year, August and September, when the fall seasons come along. Good TV on, right? All the nice, the sports and athletics and everything. Right now, I have had a busier weekend, and typically we see it like hit a wall and over the cliff the week before school. Everybody's out back to school shopping. The week the school starts, everybody's focused on. We're still slammed this week, slammed. So
beautiful.
I'm hoping
One of the
That's
biggest
great to hear.
One of the biggest things I can tell you is what we think is going to happen, and what happens, who knows anymore. You can take what is traditionally been the case and throw it out the door. I thought we were going to dip down, and we haven't. We keep adding supply, and it keeps selling out and out and out at night. We're bracing for Labor Day weekend because we think it's going to be insane. I think one of the unique things is we're seeing a lot of first-time visitors to Vegas with this new clientele. So I think that's a great opportunity for us as well. I mean, people are able to get very inexpensive flights to Vegas, or they drive to Vegas, or they're staying on the strip for inexpensive. So it's a great opportunity for all of us.
Yeah, that actually asked one of my last two questions. Leah had asked what everyone is thinking about what's going to happen in the future. Not necessarily tomorrow, next week, or next month, but do you guys have any idea what 2021 is going to look like in the attractions world?
I'd like to tackle that, Art, and we talked about this the other day, all of us. One thing is very cool, and almost every customer and every example, all of the convention business, SEMA is a great time for us with all the automotive people in Vegas that love to come kart racing. CES, we get a lot of repeat business every year. All of those, as they've canceled, we've not been asked for one single refund. Every one of them said, okay, CES is canceled for 2021. We'll be back in 2022, hold our deposit. Same thing, SEMA 2020 in November. Now they said, all right, we'll be back next November for SEMA in 21. So they have all just shifted for a year and said, just hold on to our deposits. So I'm optimistic for the future. I want to, as we go into the future, hold on to this individual peak that we've seen, and then try to add that corporate revenue back.
Beautiful. So I just have one last question. Who's the best golfer?
Tiger Woods.
It's you, Art.
It is. I know it's not me.
Brad's got a lot more time.
I may have a little bit more time on my hands. So I'm working on it. I'm dedicated to the craft.
Right on. So, hey, let's throw this over to our president, Linda Richardson.
Thanks, Art. Great job, you guys. And friends, everybody who's watching, if you're local, let's get those families out to support Pole Position, Maverick, and 01. Business is great. That's all good news. I think we sent out a lot of hope to a lot of people today to hear such good stats. Thank you for your continued support of LVHA. To our audience, thank you for submitting questions for our panelists. And just as important, we'll be sending out another survey. And your feedback is valuable. We get these creative ideas and we listen to what you have to say. So I encourage everybody to please participate. Thanks to Jennifer Kachui and Mark Terry in making the arrangements for this month's event. Art for his reporting live, his new skill. And the Cashman Photo team in helping us film, create, and our edit video. And edit our video for today. Ken Fault from Pole Position was a great player, and of course Joshua Martin from our very own LVHA marketing team putting it all in. I thought they did a great job. Please mark your calendar for September 24th at 12 noon and learn what Las Vegas industry leaders are doing to bring back the much needed events to our city. A little sneak peek for you that the Las Vegas Hospitality Association, we are partnering with Vegas Events COVID-19 Committee. This will be for September. The VECC was organized quietly behind the scenes early in the pandemic and is comprised of more than 30 venue and resort leaders who form the organization with the mission to return Las Vegas safely to live events and entertainment. So we're very excited about that. The panel discussion will be moderated by President of LV Las Vegas Events, Pat Christensen. He'll share the screen with other VECC members. We're still securing the representatives from Allegiant, T-Mobile, UFC, Live Nation, and AEG Presents, among others. It's going to be a great event. September 24th, mark your calendars. In closing, thank you, Brad, Brian, Carl, and once again, Art Green. Friends, that concludes our panel discussion for today. Everyone, please stay safe, wear your masks, and we'll have information coming out soon for our September event. Have a great day, everybody.
Go Knights, go.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.